Friends, Greg Newmaster coming at you again with another action figure review. Today I have Star Wars, the Vintage Collection, Bo-Katan, Kryze from The Mandalorian and from Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars. Or I'm sorry, the Clone Wars. She's from the Clone Wars. I bet. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Anyhow. Awesome figure, played by the wonderful Katie Sackhoff and voiced by her, voiced and acted, voiced by in the Clone Wars and acted by in the Mandalorian. It's a really great time to be a Star Wars fan in a lot of ways because, anybody who grew up with Boba Fett and then it evolved into like the Mandalorian mythos and then expanded even further through the expanded universe, the prequels, and now the Clone Wars really fleshed out the Mandalorians, and we got to see them as a culture and a people and who Boba Fett came from. So now we have, characters like Bo-Katan, Kryze, and we have Mando himself, and it's just very exciting if you always liked the Mandalorian type characters. So to finally get Bo-Katan in the Vintage Collection is very exciting, and then they just keep Hasbro. They're hearing our prayers per se, and they are giving the Vintage Collection fans some love, and now they're starting to produce awesome figures, and it seems like we're going to get Star Wars Rebels characters because they're going to be introduced in the Ahsoka show. And who knows what else we're going to get out of Mandalorian, and who knows what else is going to come from the Book of Boba Fett. They just released either yesterday or today that they're going to do Fennec Shand, and then they're also doing the new version of Boba Fett as we saw him in Mando. So it's very exciting, and I'm happy to see that Hasbro... they are listening to the fans, and they are producing these figures in the classic line, in the best line, in my opinion, the Vintage Collection. So let's get into this figure. We got Bo-Katan Kryze, Mandalorian royalty, sister of Satine Kryze, the lover, potential girlfriend of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I wonder if they'll refer to her in the Obi-Wan show. That'll be an interesting dynamic too. So I hope they see that, because Obi-Wan deserves some love. So here we have Bo-Katan, the princess. Last we saw her was in the last episode of The Mandalorian, where she wanted the Darksaber from Moff Gideon so she could claim her birthright as the queen of the Mandalorians. But Mando unknowingly defeated Moff Gideon in battle. And maybe it was a plan of Moff Gideon, but it did seem like he was trying to kill him. But he ended up taking the Darksaber. So here she is in the beautiful likeness of Katie Sackhoff. This is a really nice image from the Mandalorian show. She has an awesome looking helmet and armor. I just love that. So, and it's a really good image on the card if you guys like the cards. Here is the back of the card. We got Vintage Collection 226. Other figures are dropping right now. We got Lobot, Queel, Bib Fortuna, the Mithril, IG-11, which I already did a video on, the Rebel Soldier from Echo Base, which I probably won't get, and Lando in his classic look with his nice blue cape. So let's bust this baby open and get a good look at her, because she looks beautiful. And the Vintage Collection figures, they're just getting so much better with their sculpts and articulation. It's truly wonderful. Now, I will say this, and people may disagree with me, but I did appreciate when the helmet was an accessory. I know that they're trying to get like the accurate head shape and size, and look at that face sculpt. That is just terrific. She looks beautiful. It looks just like Katie Sackhoff. Oh man, what they could do now compared to the figures of when I was very young in the 90s and then like the 70s and 80s figures. They just, that looks so good. She looks amazing. Just the colors, the paint, and this is a 3.75 inch scale figure. And like, look at the amount of detail and paint. It just looks beautiful. Beautiful. And I love Katie Sackhoff's performance. This is a side note, but somebody made a fan film with Katie Sackhoff as the Pink Ranger, and it was like a real dark and gritty version of the Power Rangers. And man, I wish they made a movie out of that. But Katie Sackhoff played Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, in that short video. And it would be really something if they ever made Power Rangers out of that. But wow, she just looks great. Articulation, shoulders go up that high. So the shoulder pads are not attached, so that's really cool. Wow, really good articulation. Really like it. A little bit more than 90 degrees. So you don't really need the double jointed elbows because it goes just quite far enough as if she was actually wearing armor and clothing. So that's pretty cool. We get wrist rotation. I love how the hinge is like that. Instead of like that, it's like that. So it's a gun holding hinge, which I really love. There's also elbow rotation. So standard vintage collection articulation. She also has torso articulation, as you can see that. Can go complete rotation. And she also, you have a little bit of crunch, a little bit of back bend, which is really nice. There's her jetpack, which looks beautiful. And, oh, it comes off. And it's on there nice and tight, which is good. Because on Mando's, his falls off very easily. So that's in there really tight. And it's not going to fall off. She doesn't have a missile. Standard head articulation. They have the new head articulation with the double ball joint that pops out like that. Instead of the head just like pegged right on. And it was just a single joint. I guess some people call it a bell joint. Her belt looks good. Her holsters look good. My only complaint about... Oh, yes. They finally fixed it. This is the best hip articulation I've ever seen in a vintage collection figure. They normally do like a weird hip articulation, but they started doing it like the G.I. Joes. And it's like a T on the inside. Oh, that's great. That's so much better. Oh, I hope they make all the figures like that from now on. And she can do a straddle. Good kick. Oh, this is great. Oh, thank you, Hasbro. Thank you for correcting that. This is great. Wow. This is a new and improved innovation for Star Wars. They gave her good G.I. Joe style T-joint on the hips, and it goes, oh, that's great. Knees are great. A little more than 90 degrees. Very good. Ankle articulation up and down. We got the pivot. Wonderful. Wow, what a vast improvement. I'm so pleased that they did this. This figure rocks already. And let's get a look at this helmet, which is very, very nice. Can't wait to get a Sabine Wren figure in the vintage collection with this kind of articulation. Look at that helmet. That's beautiful. Just look at the detail on the paint job. The blues, the whites, the blacks. Looks great. Really, really nice. And then we got the double bell joint in there as well. There's even some weathering on there. You can see. Sorry, you're looking at my crusty hands. But just like the paint splotches and things like that. There's the back of the helmet. Let's switch this out and pop this helmet on. Yeah, like I said, that's my only minor complaint, which I understand why they do it, and it looks better, is I just like when you can slip the helmet on and off, and it's not like a separate piece. But that's just my opinion. I know it looks better in sculpt, because they'd have to have oversized helmets if they didn't do that. The antenna doesn't come down, so, excuse me. But there is that. And let's get a look at her blasters, which are always taped in there. And real sleek. They're a little, I forget who was saying it, one of the reviewers. They're saying it is a soft plastic, but it's not a big deal to me. Like, because if they're super hard, it can break easily. Like NECA is notorious for using super hard plastic, and it makes their figures really fragile. So I don't mind if it's a little bit of a rubbery plastic. Not for the lightsabers though, but for the blasters it's fine. It has a metallic silver paint, and the handles are painted, so it looks really good. And let's see how it goes in her hand. She can hold it good. Yeah, that's the only thing about, you know, with the weapons. Sometimes they make it that the hands just don't hold the guns like tight, and you don't want to have that. But it looks like, yep, that goes in there real nice. She can hold her blaster well. Very, very nice. And I'm going to put the other one in the other hand. And it's not loose and floppy if you just get it in the fingers. Yeah, and it looks really good. And I'm flicking that. It's not popping out. Looks really good. What a great figure. Vast improvement on the articulation, my friends. Very exciting, especially in the hips. This is how you got to do it, Hasbro. From now on, I hope all figures have this level of articulation and detail. Blasters go in the holsters. Let's see how that goes. And very nice. Wow. Wonderful figure. Wonderful figure. So, and you can, oh no. Oh no. I'm going to have to pull this out with pliers because the head popped off. Like the ball joint, the double ball joint. Get that back on there. That's going to be annoying. Okay, that's the only thing that's wrong with it. Other than that, excellent figure. Highly recommend it. Great character. Look forward to seeing Bo-Katan more in Ahsoka and The Mandalorian and even the Book of Boba Fett. I hope she makes an appearance. So, like I said, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Bo-Katan Kryze, Star Wars, The Vintage Collection. God bless you all and have a Merry Christmas, guys. Peace.